The PlayStation Store is running its excellent double discount sale right now, and with that, there are a ton of great game deals available, and in today's video, I want to highlight 10 deals under the price of $10. Now, before I get into this is a double discount sale, meaning that PlayStation Plus subscribers are saving double, so yes, if you're planning on buying anything from this sale, please be a Plus subscriber. Those are the prices I'm gonna be going over. If you're a non-Plus subscriber, the prices are absolutely astronomically high. They are ridiculous. Nobody should be paying those kind of prices. But without further ado, let's get right into this and highlight these 10 deals. And before we get into everything, I just want to remind you guys to make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon so you are always notified of uploads. And that definitely helps out the channel too, so we always appreciate that. First up, I want to highlight Red Faction Guerilla Remastered Edition, which is 80% off. It is down to just $5.99. Red Faction Guerilla released all the way back in 2009, and outside of this one being the worst title for a remastered game of all time, I'm sorry, I'm never gonna get on board with Remastered Edition. It is a phenomenal game, and it still holds up really well. Now, it was an open world game in 2009, and comparatively speaking, if you look at 2009 open world titles to 2019 open world titles, yeah, 2019 open world titles definitely have an advantage, and it does show its age a little bit in that sense. However, you're only paying $6 for Red Faction Guerilla, and what it offers is a lot of fun. The destructibility in this game is top-notch. The gameplay is great, the story isn't anything to get super invested into, but it's still somewhat decent. And again, the content and gameplay, it's really good. Visually, it looks better on the PS4 with this version, and for $6, definitely worth a buy. Next up, speaking of open world games, Just Cause 3 is down to $4.99. Just Cause 3 is a game that had quite a few issues back in December of 2015 when it originally released. However, since that release, it has gotten better, and it's not $60 anymore. You're just paying $5 for it, and for $5, it's quite a good game. And what Just Cause always gets right is the fun factor. This isn't a game that has an incredibly compelling story or characters. However, it is one that definitely gets that fun factor right. It's a game that you can just pop in and have some fun with. You don't have to play it for long hours on end, although you could, and it does offer engaging gameplay with a lot of destructibility that you don't have to take all too seriously. For $60, I wouldn't say that Just Cause 3 would be a great buy, but at $5, of course, it's easily worth a buy. And Just Cause 4 at this point is out. However, it's still going for like $15 to $20, so I would wait until that's south of $10 and then pick it up. For now, check out Just Cause 3, you're gonna have a lot of fun with it. Next up, a game that I always go to bat for is Sleeping Dogs, and the definitive edition of that is down to $4.49. Sleeping Dogs is a phenomenal game. It released towards the end of last generation, and it was just great in so many ways. A lot of people originally were comparing it to like Grand Theft Auto in Hong Kong, but it's a lot more than that, and it's very different than Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto has this massive open world, and Sleeping Dogs definitely doesn't have that. It has somewhat of an open world, however, it's definitely more contained, and it keeps the story more connected, and it has a much bigger emphasis on its hand-to-hand combat and the narrative itself, and both of those elements are incredibly strong. Visually, it looks great. The definitive edition includes all 24 previously available DLC extensions, including the story-extending episode of Year of the Snake and the horror-themed Nightmare in North Point, so there's a lot to get into out of this one, and for $4.49, it's a great buy. Resident Evil 4 is 60% off, down to $7.99. Resident Evil 4 is one of the most iconic games of all time. I don't think it's hyperbolic at all to say that, and it is one of the best survival horror games of all time. Now, I say survival horror titles, however, Resident Evil 4 is actually the game in the Resident Evil franchise that took the series more into an action-oriented route. It definitely still has its horror elements to it, but whatever the case may be, Resident Evil 4 is an incredible game, and this version on the PlayStation 4 runs at full 1080p HD, increased frame rate, all that good stuff. It's a masterpiece. One day, I would love to see Capcom remake this game from the ground up, much like Resident Evil 2, just because it's that phenomenal of a game. And hopefully, at some point, we do get that, but for now, do give Resident Evil 4 on the PlayStation 4 a look. It's definitely well worth it. Next up, I want to give a shout out to Mega Man X Legacy Collection 2. That is down to $9.99. Now, this includes Mega Man X5, X6, X7, and X8. Some of you guys might be wondering why I didn't recommend X Legacy Collection 1 over this. Now, I would recommend both. X Legacy Collection 2 just offers the games that I feel like are going to be more engaging to a modern audience. X1, X2, and X3, a little bit dated, and you can tell that right away. X4 is still definitely very good. Now, unfortunately, in the sense of the X Legacy Collection 2, X6 and X7 are probably two of the weakest games in the series. X7, by many gamers, is just absolutely hate it. X5 is really good, X8 is really good, and I thought X6 was pretty decent as well. Again, X7 is that title that I personally didn't think it was awful, but some people did. Ideally, you would just get both collections. It's Mega Man, Mega Man's great, and it's great to see how Capcom has revitalized the IP over the last few years, and the releases are going to continue. We've got Mega Man Zero collection in the works, and it looks like another new entry in the Mega Man franchise will be coming sometime in the future, so very excited to see where Mega Man goes in the future. But for now, X Legacy Collection 2 is a solid pickup at $9.99. Next up, we have Mad Max, which is down to $4.49. Mad Max was a really good game released on September 1st, 2015. Now, why do I say the date of the game? Well, September 1st, 2015 was also the day another tiny little open world game came out that was called Metal Gear Solid 5. So yes, Mad Max had the unfortunate fate of being an open world title released on the same day as MGS5, and that did definitely hamper the game. Mad Max turned out to be a very good game, and I think the strong elements of this game are from the combat. The combat is very reminiscent to something like Batman Arkham. The world is pretty decent. I mean, it takes place in a desert, so you've got this barren wasteland to explore, and I have to say, performance-wise, this is one of the most fluid games that you're gonna find on the PlayStation 4. In terms of frame rate and overall fluidity, it definitely has that hammered down, and for $4.49, given the quality you're getting, it's definitely worth a buy. Next up, I want to give a shout to Okami HD, one of the most iconic games on the PlayStation 2, and revered as one of the best games ever on the PlayStation 2, maybe even of all time. I don't think it's hyperbole in saying that. It is down to $9.99, and I absolutely adore Okami. I don't know if we're ever gonna get more Okami. However, Okami 1 was so good, and you can revisit the game in Okami HD. It is tremendous. $9.99 for it is an absolute steal, and I highly recommend you guys play it, especially if you're one of the few that have never played Okami. $9.99 is a great buy. Think something like The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, masterpiece in gameplay, story. It is just so strong in every area. Looks better on the PlayStation 4 with Okami HD. And at $9.99, you're getting one of the best games of all time, and it's absolutely worth it. Next up, Metal Gear Solid 5, the definitive experience, is down to $9.99. I know so many of you guys are excited for Kojima's Death Stranding. Well, if you never played Metal Gear Solid 5, and I would be a little bit surprised if you haven't, $9.99 for the definitive experience is great. This, of course, includes the base Metal Gear Solid 5 game, but it includes a ton more on top of that. You get Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, and you get 36 DLC items and additional content, including 2 extra missions, additional weapons, and items used for customization. MGS5 obviously had a lot of controversy leading up to its release, but the game itself is exceptional. The story is really good, even though it's told in a different way. Unlike MGS4, you don't have these long, drawn-out, 1-hour-long, 30-minute-long cutscenes. The majority of the story is told through cassette tapes, and I thought that was rather interesting. Might be a little bit off-putting to some, but if you're a newcomer to Metal Gear, you're gonna really enjoy this game. And if you just want a quality open-world tactical espionage title, Metal Gear Solid 5 definitely offers that as well, and at $9.99 for all the content you're getting, it's a steal. Burnout Paradise Remastered is down to $4.99. Of course, this is an EA release, so I would be remiss if I didn't mention that EA Access is a thing. $30 a year, you get access to a bunch of Vault catalog of games. If you want to subscribe to that, Burnout Paradise Remastered will be included with the Vault lineup. The game itself is awesome if you just want to pick it up standalone, $4.99. It's a great open-world arcade racer. Now, bear in mind, it did release all the way back in January of 2008, so it's been north of 11 years since the game originally came out. Wow, I'm really dating myself with that, considering I remember when this game came out and paying $60 for it. Whatever the case may be, it does show its age a little bit. Some of the gameplay design elements weren't on point. However, if you go into this, you can still expect a really enjoyable open world arcade racer with some really awesome music. It's got some really good tracks in there. Fun fact, if you guys listen to Dragon's Dogma's opening theme song, the same band that did the opening theme song does a song in Burnout Paradise Remastered. There's a little bit of a fun fact for you guys that only like 2 of you are gonna get, but nonetheless, $4.99 for Burnout Paradise Remastered is really good, and I would give it a strong recommendation. And lastly, Deus Ex Mankind Divided is down to $4.49. This is a game I've recommended several times, but the game is really good. I was a little bit disappointed by it on the basis that I had astronomically high expectations for it. I love Deus Ex Human Revolution. I thought it was one of the best RPGs in recent memory. Didn't quite hit that level. However, from a gameplay standpoint, it's really good. The narrative is where it's a little bit weaker. They did want to do another game in this series. Unfortunately, I don't know if that's ever going to happen given the lukewarm reception to Mankind Divided overall from a commercial and a critical standpoint, but at $4.49, still very much an enjoyable action RPG, and I would give it a strong recommendation. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, a lot of great deals available with the double discount sale right now, from Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition, Red Faction Guerilla Remastered, Burnout Paradise, MGS5, Deus Ex Mankind Divided. There's a lot of good stuff on sale right now, and all of these are under the price of $10. So that's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.